Welcome, everybody. Welcome again.
Yes, welcome back. It's been 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since
then
we
we-
sat here,
Yep.
right? We were in Miami last week.
Yes, we were.
That was a great show. I met
It
some
was.
great people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great conversation today. I'm very excited. I'll let you guys in a little bit about it. But yeah, it was very interesting. I got a lot of high hopes. The app is, we've made one step further movement with the Apple Store. So our individual account has been upgraded to organization. We had to submit some other paperwork again, but it's moving along. And I think, the app's available on Google Play. You can download, if you search CINO Wallet, the app's there. You can use it. There are still little bugs here and there, but we have a Discord channel. I can share the link. If you guys have any bugs or any issues, just report there. And the developers are in there right now answering questions and fixing problems. But it's pretty awesome that peer-to-peer is working great. I have CINO and Spud peer-to-peer working in that. So
It's working.
it's working. It's working.
Okay.
So anyway, we should be live in Apple Wallet. I'm hoping for before I leave on my European trip. But yeah,
When's that happening?
not this Friday, the following Friday. I'm gone for a few days.
Shit.
I'm going to Greece.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. I need a little disconnect.
I feel that. The European lifestyle will be good.
Yeah, I love Greek salads and
Have you been to Greece before?
once before, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. I love the Mediterranean. I love it. So anyway, though, I do want to talk about one of our videos that we made last week that got tons of views. And I did tell everybody, I do read all the comments and I try to respond. And I think a lot of people were missing the mark. We made a video that got us almost 300,000 views, lots of comments, and it was how to pay a car loan off early. And in that video, I gave an example of what I did, right? Because I feel that other people like to see real world numbers. Well, I think a lot of people were missing the mark on where I was trying to get at about controlling your interest and managing your interest.
Which video are we talking about?
I think you titled it as how to pay a car loan off, the best way to pay off a car loan.
Mm-hmm.
And people were so focused on me paying $1,000 a week for the car loan that they missed the whole managing the interest. So I'd like to just touch on that, and hopefully you can make a short on this section again. I pulled up some numbers, hopefully explains what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
All right.
So what's the best way to pay off a car loan?
The best way to pay off any loan is to manage your interest the best way you can. First off, if you can't add anything else, if you cannot make a dime extra, then break up that monthly payment into a weekly payment and pay it off weekly. Okay?
So you're saying if it's $1,000 a month, do it $250 a week.
Yeah. Make your monthly car payment of $1,000, and then every week after that, go to $250. You watch how fast your interest will drop.
So are you saying pay $2,000 a month?
No, $250 a week is $1,000. If
Right.
you have no extra, if you cannot afford a penny more, right? You cannot afford a penny more on your car note. Break it up into a weekly payment.
Why is that better than making one payment every month?
When you make one monthly payment, you go 30 days of accruing interest on your principal. When you pay the same amount weekly, the principal gets broken down every week. You chip away at your principal every week.
Really?
Yes, it makes a huge difference. I took some numbers out, not exactly to talk about this specific thing, but let me go through my numbers, and hopefully you guys can understand what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, so initially, I bought a $115,000 car. My interest rate was 6.99%. I think this was in 2022 when I did it. If you can all remember, car prices were ridiculous at the time. People were asking above MSRP. I personally did not pay above MSRP. I won't do it. So at that time, I was getting MSRP, and that was the best loan that I could get at the time, right? I knew that I was going to accelerate the loan, so I wasn't too worried about the 72 months or the 6.99% interest because I was going to accelerate it anyway. I had that planned in my head to begin with. So 6.99%. I bought a $115,000 car. I borrowed $62,000. My monthly payment was $1,057 a month. Okay? The cost of that loan, the finance charge, was roughly $14,000. I think $14,200 if I remember. Do you remember in my last video I said that I paid $1,000 a week? I knocked it down from 72 months to, I don't even remember, 24 or 15 months or something like that, and I wound up paying $3,000 in interest. Okay? So, assuming we're talking about the same loan, 6.99%, $62,000 borrowed, $1,057 a month. Okay? I just pulled up some numbers, and I wanted you guys to try to understand and see where I'm coming from when I'm talking about managing interest. Okay? If you paid $100 extra a month, so your monthly payment is $1,057, you paid $1,157. Just by paying $100 a month more towards your principal, you would knock that loan down from 72 months to 65 months. Okay? At the end of 65 months, you would have saved yourself $880. It doesn't sound like much, and it's not. But it's still $880 that you have in your pocket as opposed to their pocket. Mm-hmm. That's the idea here. How much money are we keeping in our pocket or paying the banks? That's the idea here, okay? So, if you were able to do $300 a week, which is roughly another $100 a month, right? Mm-hmm. So you were paying, your minimum payment's $1,000. We talked about making an $1,100 payment. Now we're talking about making a $1,200 payment. That 72-month loan drops to 56 months. So $100 a week goes to 65 months. I'm sorry, $100 a month goes to 65 months. $300 a week goes to 56 months. And you would save yourself $3,400. Do you see it? From $800 savings to $3,400 savings, all right? One step further, if you were able to really accelerate their payments and you paid $500 a week, so you're doubling your car payment, right? You're paying $2,000 a month instead of your $1,057. Your 72-month loan drops to 31 months, and you save $8,200. So instead of paying $14,000 in finance charge, you keep $8,200. Do you see what managing your interest does and how much money you can keep in your pocket? This is all I'm trying to show you guys. It doesn't matter if you pay $1,000 a week, $500 a week. It doesn't matter. You just need to get ahead of the minimum payment of your auto loan because you are wasting so much money in interest. Okay? So, there was a few other comments in the feed of that video. And a lot of people were saying, well, if you can afford $1,000 a week, why didn't you just pay the $62,000 and not take a loan at all? And I replied, because my $62,000 is invested making 10, 15, 20% a year. Okay? So the benchmark for annual performance of the S&P 500, which everybody and anybody can invest in. You can do it on Robinhood. You just invest in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is all different stocks. It's a mutual fund for all the different sectors of the economy. Okay? It averages about 10% a year. If I took that $8,200 that I saved from my car loan, right, from the interest payment, and I invested it in the S&P 500, in 5 years, that $8,000 will be worth $13,200. In 10 years, $21,200. 15 years, $34,000. And in 20 years, $55,000. So hear me out. You're okay giving the $8,200 to the bank instead of accelerating your payments or doing whatever you have to do or buying a car that's a little bit cheaper so you can afford to accelerate the loan, right? You have to do whatever you have to do to fit your situation. But you're okay giving the bank $8,200 extra dollars instead of keeping it for yourself and investing it, where in 20 years, it can be worth $55,000. Now, we're talking about one car. Some people buy a car every 2 years. Some people buy a car every 4 years. Some people have multiple cars. Some people have multiple cars and a mortgage. Some people have multiple cars and multiple mortgages. Why are you not applying these strategies to everything? Every dollar that you don't pay to the bank and invest is money in your pocket in the future. When you're 55 or 60 years old and all that money starts building up and building up and building up, and you have $2, $3, $4 million sitting there, you're like, fuck, I can retire. But no, criticize me and give it to the bank. Right? The brokest motherfuckers on the internet are the ones who you can't tell anything to. Okay? So based on that one question of, if you had the $62,000, why did you take the loan? Because my $62,000 is making me 10, 15, 20%. So $62,000 invested at 10%. And I'm talking annual compound, not monthly, right? Annual compound. In 3 years, that $62,000 is now worth $82,000. In 5 years, it's $99,800. In 10 years, it's worth $160,000. So does that make sense to anybody here that I need to buy a car and I take my $62,000 out of the bank and I buy a car that depreciates in value the minute I drive it off the lot? Or I did it my way. I borrowed $62,000. I paid the bank $3,400 in interest, right? Mm-hmm. But my $62,000 made me $20,000.
So you're saying it's good debt?
It's definitely good debt, because my capital, the cash that I save every week, right? I don't sit, and maybe that's a disconnect. When you say, why did you take the $62,000 and just take it and pay off the car? I don't sit around with $62,000 in my checking account making 0.0025% interest. Every spare dollar that I don't need liquid right now is invested.
Okay, so you're basically saying that all the interest you normally would have paid towards this car loan, you're putting into something like the S&P 500.
A safe, easy bet is the S&P 500. Mm-hmm. Safe, easy, 10% every year. It grows and grows and grows and grows.
Whereas just keeping it in a regular bank account
does nothing. It devalues because of inflation. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. I'm trying to help you. I'm not here fluffing my wealth or telling you what, how unrealistic things are. I was trying to explain to you guys in real world terms what I did. I'm always here explaining what I do, things that I do to help me get ahead in life.
Yeah.
I don't care what fits your situation as long as you do something better than making your minimum payment and paying all that interest to the bank. I hope I've cleared a little bit of that up.
Yeah, and if you disagree, then have something else to counteract with.
Right, like tell me how I'm wrong.
You something.
Yeah, teach me something. I would appreciate that.
Well, I think a lot of the people have a problem with they can't add anything more than they could barely get by with the payment that they have.
I understand. I really understand that, because I was in that position too. If you remember some of our first videos, do you remember you asking me, when was the point in my life?
Yeah, you couldn't make it through the toll.
I couldn't pay the fucking toll. Mm-hmm. I was eating 99 cents a box mac and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese for dinner, because that's all I could afford. I fucking get it. Having a mortgage, having a brand new baby, having 2 car payments, taxes. I fucking get it. I know it. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't given the world. I fucking fought every single day to get where I am today. I understand. But like I said, based on these numbers, and do the math yourself, put your situation into that. There's ChatGPT and Grok and all these other AI that can spit out these amortization charts in seconds. Ask it. Ask, if I took my monthly payment and paid weekly, where would I be? Do something to help yourself. You're sitting there struggling to make ends meet, and I'm telling you a way that could help you, and you're not willing to do it. You're willing to sit there and text me on TikTok telling me that I'm wrong or I'm ridiculous, but you're not willing to change the way you do things, even if it's taking the same payment you make and paying it weekly, right? And that's easy. You go to your bank, you set up the automatic payment to pay weekly instead of monthly. Mm-hmm. It requires zero effort. And you would save. If you saved $800, $900, $1,000, why wouldn't you want to save? If you can't afford anything extra, wouldn't an extra $1,000 be helpful?
And that's just the money you're saving on the interest. There's other money that you come across, right? It doesn't just have to be that money. You're just making the example.
I'm just making the example.
Yeah. The money that you saved could have went into the S&P 500.
Now, think about mortgages. Mortgages go for 30 years. Imagine all the interest you pay over 30 years.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm gonna
Does it
look
work like that, paying weekly versus monthly with a mortgage as well?
By doing that. I have a piece of property up in New Hampshire. It's like 100 acres with a pond. It's really pretty, right? Acres. Yeah, it's a nice little thing. I think I bought it for $200,000. And at the time, I was making decent money, but I didn't want to strap myself on that piece of property. So I just made the payment, but weekly, right? I made the mortgage. I made my first month's mortgage payment, and then every week after that, I might have added $100 or $200 more, something. It knocked 7 years off the loan.
Wow.
7 years. Think about that. That's 7 years of interest.
How many years total was it?
I think it was a 30-year mortgage, 25 or 30-year mortgage. But I knocked 7 years. You can knock just under a third off of it just by paying the same amount weekly. Mm-hmm. Do your research. Get on the computer. Build an amortization table. You'll see.
I never knew that.
I
didn't know there was a difference between, like, let's just say that somebody's monthly payment for the car is $400.
Yep.
Rather than making a payment of $400 on the first of the month, they make $100 a week. That, over the course of like a 5-year, 6-year period, is going to shorten just by paying it weekly.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. It shortens it. Absolutely shortens it.
That's crazy.
It's because interest is a percentage of the principal. Eat away at the principal, and you will lower the percentage of the money you pay. But they don't teach us that in school. They want you broke. They want you to be a slave to the system. They want you struggling, focusing on just making ends meet and not paying attention to all the details.
Listen to this guy.
I mean, listen or don't. It's up to you. I'm just trying to help you. I'm fine. I'm good. I know where I'm at. I'm all set. I don't do this. I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing this. Now, I know I made the comment on the internet, so it opens me up to the comments. But give me something good. There's a lot of jokesters out there. Everybody's trying to be funny. I find it funny that you're giving all your spare money to the bank. You're fucking throwing your fucking hard-earned money away. Mm-hmm. You're throwing it away. You know, look at all the banks, right? I'm in private aviation, right? Look at all the banks. Chase, Bank of America, all of them. Guess how many private airplanes each one of them have? Multiple. At $50 million a piece, costing $3 or $4 million a year to operate. Where do you think that money's coming from? Your interest.
Oh, shit.
What does a bank sell?
Loans?
Loans.
Yeah.
An auto loan, a mortgage, credit cards. It's all interest. You're paying for those motherfuckers to fly around in luxury.
So we make them rich.
Who else does it?
So banks don't print the money, right?
No.
Where does
The Federal Reserve
who
prints the money.
funds
The
the banks?
Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, prints the money.
So they're the master bank, the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, the bank's bank.
Okay, I see.
So, yeah.
Whoa.
It's a big fucking shell game.
I think once you start seeing it,
And you're at the bottom.
you're like
You know,
the
they
little
say
pawns, right?
shit rolls downhill and everybody gets splattered on the way down. Who on the bottom gets the big splat? Climb the fucking ladder. Get out of the shit. Start doing something for yourself.
So I don't know. This might be a stupid question, but like when a bank first opens, right? Like who does the Federal Reserve fund that on interest to the bank?
You know what? Honestly, I've never tried to open a bank or been involved in banking. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I'm sure the Federal Reserve.
Do they own a part of the banks?
I don't think they own it. But they make all the rules and regulations and how much money, cash the bank actually has to keep on hand. And, you know, the way the rules are, you know, banks borrow money at a lower percentage rate than they lend out. So they have to pay the Federal Reserve back for the money they borrow.
I'm surprised banks never made it illegal to make payments like that, to typically shorten the interest.
I do believe there are some states that do that.
Really?
Yeah. Some states, or I'm sorry, not illegal to do that. Some states allow banks to charge a prepayment penalty. So if you pay it off faster, you want to having to pay the penalty.
Fucked up.
In New Jersey, at least in New Jersey protects consumers that way, that there is no prepayment penalty and that you are allowed to pay off faster. So,
ironically, because the taxes are really high here.
well, they got to protect us somehow because they need to get their cut. If everybody's struggling and you can't pay the high taxes, then guess who's out? The government. So
I see.
So yeah, I hope you guys who are watching understand what I'm trying to get here, right? I'm not trying to tell you that you need to pay 4 times your car payment, even though that's what I did. I was only telling you what I did because it's real numbers. It actually happened. And I feel that that's more authentic than just pulling numbers off the internet. But a lot of people misunderstood where I was coming from. I don't expect anybody or the majority of people to pay 4 times their car payment. I hate to even say it, but there's only a select few people who can do that, right? As we're talking as a whole, you know. But can you pay, if you can't pay anything extra, pay weekly. If you can pay $100 a month more, do it, but do it weekly.
Right.
If you can pay $200, do it, but do it weekly. If you can pay $500 a week, do it. But then the money that you're saving, don't go blow it on vapes and Starbucks and
Right.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Take that money that
S&P.
you were going to give to the bank and invest it in something safe, S&P 500. Is it going to have ups and downs? Yes. But overall, it's a 10% average. It's the baseline. It's easy. It's safe. It's all the sectors of the economy. You're giving money to the bank instead of giving it to yourself and investing it. I can't, it doesn't compute in my head why I'm even talking about this.
Because I think the wiring of the general population doesn't think like that.
Well,
It's our subconscious programming. We're not taught this in high school.
right.
We're barely even taught it in college.
Well, then that's what we should do.
We have YouTube
Well,
and people like you on YouTube.
no, we have parents that are watching,
Yeah.
right? Remember we talked about who else is pissed, and we talked about taxes and government and all that kind of stuff. And I said one of the first answers is to get involved, right? Get involved in your local government. That's where me specifically and you specifically, can start to make the biggest change. Us voting for the president of the United States doesn't mean shit. But us voting for the local officials in our community who we can directly hold responsible, that makes a difference. Go to the Board of Ed meetings. Change the curriculum. Tell them, why are we not teaching our kids about finance? If enough parents get together and mandate schools do it, they'll do it. They'll have to do it. Mm-hmm. Why is it okay to have young kids watching drag shows and those kind of things, but it's not okay for our kids to be learning about finance, how to write a check? Do you know how many kids don't even know how to fill out a fucking envelope? Like, it's disgusting. It is. Do you know how many kids don't? We have 6 kids in our house. They don't know how to file their own taxes. They're in their 20s. And our house is very educated, right? We talk about these things. When I grew up, my parents never talked about money with me.
Same.
Why? Teach the kids. Teach them. Everything that you learn that works for you guys, teach them.
Well, you understand now why it's like foreign to you having to talk about this, though, because just how you grew up, you had to learn it for yourself,
right?
Or learn it from whoever your mentors were,
right?
The same with other people.
I get, but I'm here. But now I'm here talking about it
because majority of the population is not making more than $30,000 a year.
Yeah, that's tough.
I know
it's tough. It's tough to live. It absolutely is. You know, and then you have those people that are trying to live in New Jersey or New York or Connecticut or California. You know, it's some of the highest taxes in the country.
I know.
You know, you need to start getting involved in politics and hold your local representatives, school boards, local mayors, local boards.
Could that help you financially? Because I feel like
it can help you financially when you're a new homeowner and the town comes out with a referendum that they want to raise taxes again and again. For what? For less services? No. Hold them accountable. Go to the meetings.
Do you feel like local politics are less manipulated than the...
No, I feel they're all manipulated, and they will get away with anything and everything that they can if you let them.
So then it comes down to, does our vote count?
It does count. It does. But most how many times in local politics do you see, oh yeah, my buddy's running for this or whatever, he's got my vote? Your buddy's an idiot. Why are you putting him in charge?
Yeah.
And when he makes the promises and doesn't follow through, nobody pays attention. I don't have time to go to that meeting. Well, then don't sit here and complain. Right? Mm-hmm. The first step for us, the little guy, local politics, get involved, make a difference, hold them accountable. That's the first step. Everybody sits here and goes, what are we going to do?
Well, don't you feel like there's a correlation between poverty and having no desire to do that? Because most people just want to flip the finger and say, fuck them all. It's not going to make a difference. I'm over here struggling. They better fucking do something about it. Nobody's helping.
I feel...
The presidents lie. Politicians lie.
They all lie.
They never do what they say they're going to do.
Now, you're right. But is that because the opposing party pushes against it? Right? No matter, regardless of what your political beliefs are, isn't it funny and ironic that no matter what Trump says or does, the other side says it's wrong? They've never given him credit. Now, so that's Trump, right? Okay. How many other guys all the way down get the same thing? I don't know, but I bet you it's a lot. When do we want our political officials, our appointed elected officials, when do we let them stop playing politics and start doing what's right for the community?
Well, I don't know, when somebody decides to go crazy and just start killing people.
I'm not saying that's the answer, but I'm not saying
it's not
too far. It's not the answer, but it's not too far away from happening because people have had it.
I think
people are boiling over. Yeah, absolutely.
People can't live.
No, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. Remember I said what would a father do?
Yeah,
to feed his child.
Yeah,
to feed their child. He'll do anything.
That's biological.
Yeah. So, you know, and you know, we're paying all these taxes, right? And we're under the thumb and boot of the man.
Yeah.
And now you start hearing in the news, all this tax money is being frauded, right? It's going to other people in other countries and people are getting paid out. If you eliminated all the fraud, would the taxes really need to be that high?
Right.
It would probably be half.
And on top of that, it's like, not to add in the Epstein list, but when that came out and people became aware that most of these higher ups and these politicians were involved with Epstein and Epstein's Island and everything that went on there,
Yep.
and nobody did anything about it.
Well, that's horrible. And the thing is that Epstein is just the one we heard about.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's multiple Epsteins out there.
Yeah.
That millions of kids a year go missing. Where are they going?
All right.
Let's be honest. Let's ask those questions. Where are those kids going?
What do we do about it, most importantly? Because if the people are so busy being divided against each other,
Well,
because of propaganda wars, but it's just we're the team,
we are the team.
you know?
And that's the thing. By design, I said this before. They keep us fighting amongst each other. So,
But how do we approach them? What do we fucking bombard them with emails, or do we storm the Federal Reserve? Do we storm the Capitol?
I'm not saying storming anything because it's going to get me canceled again. I'm not going to give you those answers.
But not storm it violently.
Listen, every time you put a group of people together and you have one agitator in the group, it becomes violent.
Okay, that's a good point.
You can have a group of 100 peaceful people and one agitator, and he knows how to push the right buttons. He or she can push the right buttons or do the right things or make the situation seem, violence erupts. That's a fact.
Have we ever actually attempted something like that, humanity, and it not be staged? Because I think about January, when was it, 14th?
6th.
January 6th, when they stormed the Capitol.
Yeah.
Was it staged to make Trump look bad?
Because
it's like,
from what I've heard, now again, I have not delved into all the details, but the things that I hear, and just a few things, make me feel like it was staged. But I don't have an opinion on it because I don't know enough to have an opinion. But I feel like it was staged.
yeah. Because like when you start looking into like all the details, it's like,
You know, like you hear like, you know, Pelosi was in charge of getting the National Guard there and she turned it down. Why did she turn it down?
you see the footage of the guy like whispering in the ear, like, to go.
Listen, I don't believe anything on the news anymore. The news is a propaganda machine owned by a select few of elites.
And like that one Chinese woman told you,
Yeah.
you guys still watch
You
the
guys
news?
still believe the news.
Yeah.
Because here in China, we don't. We know it's bullshit. And you will too one day. And here we are, 20 years later, and I believe it's bullshit, all of it.
We got TikTok and the internet now
Well,
on our side.
how much TikTok and how much internet and how much is bullshit on there? How much AI stuff?
Yeah, right.
How much
I was gonna
how
say
much
that.
are you being and don't think for a second that the media, right? This media that we're not believing in is looking for other sources to spread their propaganda. Right? Why would they stop just at TV? Come on, be honest.
Right.
If that's my game, I'm going to be the fucking best I can at it. I'm going to go to television,
And
TikTok, Hollywood, all over.
Think about the access that we have to these AI tools versus what you think they got. Right?
Absolutely. What I can do for free on Grok is nothing compared to some
Top level.
$10,000, $20,000 a month fucking software that can make anything and it look real.
Including maybe clones and all that other shit.
Who knows? I know it was, I don't remember what department, and I think it was George Bush. She was the disguise person with the lifelike mask. And she walked into the Oval Office and had a conversation with the president, face to face. The president had no idea who he was talking to.
Holy
He thought
shit.
the disguise was that legitimate and that authentic. Now, if I can have a disguise that tricks you face to face, What can I do on camera? Right? We faked the moon landing, right?
Yeah.
Who know? But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people say we faked that. Again, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. It doesn't change my life either way.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Just like if the Earth is flat versus round, how is it going to actually change?
Well, I know it's round because I was flying over the North Pole at 50,000 feet and I saw the curve of the Earth. So I know it's round. I saw it with my own eyes.
Cool. Thank you for validating me. I ain't got no time for the flat Earth.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope I've explained the principles on paying off a loan. And this applies to credit cards. This applies to auto loans. This applies to personal loans. This applies to mortgages. This applies to loans. Pay off the principal as soon and as much as you can to limit the amount of interest you pay to the banks. It's really that easy. I don't care how much a week. I don't care what your situation is. That doesn't matter on the strategy. Do what you can to make it work for you. And the money you save that you're not giving to the banks, please invest it in yourself. Whether it be the S&P 500, whether it be CINO token, whether it be Bitcoin. I don't give a shit what you do, but do something to make your life better. That's the goal of my message. This message, all the past messages, all the future messages. Do something that helps you get ahead. Because if you don't, this is a powerful message I learned at Continental Airlines. There was a guy who said to me, if you don't do these things, you will work your whole life to get to the bottom. And that resonated with me. Can you imagine working your whole life to stand on the bottom?
People do it all the time.
They do it all the time because they don't listen, because they don't do anything. They don't take the time to make themselves better. They don't make the sacrifices. They don't invest in themselves. They don't pay themselves first. They don't manage their interest. All this shit. How many people go out every week and go drinking? How many people go out and spend $200 or $300 a week turning alcohol into piss and flushing it down the toilet?
Majority of the people.
Why?
Because they don't see themselves getting any more ahead than what they are. So I think they just try to have...
If you took $300 a week or $200 a week and invested it in the S&P 500, I guarantee you'd be ahead.
I guarantee you're absolutely correct. But I feel like most people in the collective mind state, they're just worried about seizing the moment, having a good time and getting drunk and, like...
All right,
kinda,
awesome.
That's where...
You'll be on the bottom,
yeah,
and I will not be. I'm sorry. I will not do that. I will not be a slave to a fucking substance or the promise of a good time. No, absolutely not. I am responsible for me and the people around me, and I will do everything I can to make mine and their lives better. Name me one time that alcohol has made you make a good decision.
Don't make me think about this.
Alcohol is it inhibition remove, right? It removes your inhibitions.
There's a lot of millionaires and billionaires that drink a shit ton of alcohol. I'm not sure when it started, but
Right. I'm sure there is too.
I think it's like a numbing agent.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it
I
numbs.
can't tell you. I know I used to drink when I was in the military and I was younger. I used to drink like crazy, and it got me nowhere. It got me in trouble.
We had a drink at the airport. That was a fun time.
We had a drink. I had two. You had one.
Well, I had a double.
Yeah, me too. Two doubles. But
really?
Regardless, but that was it. Mm-hmm. Did you see me drink the rest of the time in Miami? No. I was trying to stay on point. Right? I needed to be clear and focused.
Same here.
I didn't want to feel like shit. I didn't want to wake up with a headache. I didn't want to feel groggy. I didn't want to go talk to somebody and smell like alcohol. Deal's over. If you come and talk to me smelling like booze, deal's over. Deal is over. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't trust you to do a good job because you're focused on something else. I'm not giving you my money. I'm not trusting you to do something. I'm out.
That's pretty extreme.
I'm out.
What if somebody comes to you desiring to invest in CINO in a very good way, and they smell like alcohol?
I'm
But
not.
they're showing you the money.
Listen, you can show me, you can promise me. If you come to me smelling like booze or whatever, I don't believe a fucking word you say. At that point, you're going to have to show me. Right? I mean,
Right.
I
That's
don't,
not to say that there's not functional alcoholics out there.
there absolutely is.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody who's going through life as a functional alcoholic, how great could they be if they were fucking focused 100% of the
Yeah,
time?
I agree.
So,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, you can function, you can get through life, always being sedated, right? Because imagine where you would be if you weren't.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
listen,
not disagreeing
again,
with you.
this is my belief, my opinion. Who the fuck am I? You can listen to me or you don't have to. I'm fine with that, But
Well, you're walking the walk. That's a good thing. It's not like you're some broke dude on YouTube.
yeah, but
that's
most
like,
people don't know that. The internet's bullshit. Social media is all fluff and bull.
true.
So I'm sure there's some people out there who do know me and know that I do practice what I preach. And if you don't, do some research, find out who I am.
Yep. And this channel is all about our cryptocurrency, right?
Yep.
CINO
CINO
token.
token. I created a cryptocurrency to revolutionize the payment systems in aviation, private aviation to begin with. Aviation in general is where I want to go. All aviation, all services, everything. And even growing into other businesses and other industries, and it doesn't matter. The token is the token. Call it whatever you want. It still serves a purpose.
And you actually have your own successful business in private aviation.
I do.
You guys are aircraft mechanics by
Yep.
trade.
By trade, 25 years.
You're a veteran, right?
I'm a veteran, U.S. Navy veteran, yes.
Yes. And so the cryptocurrency goes hand in hand with this.
Absolutely.
You will accept it.
I do accept it. So anyway, let's move forward. At the Miami consensus, you didn't realize that, but I was texting with a group of guys back and forth. They were project founders. They were out there meeting people, doing the same thing. I spoke to the founder today, Mark Ross. He's the founder of a project called SOSANA.
SOSANA.
SOSANA?
Oh, SOSANA.
So is SOSANA or SOSANA? I don't remember. I really, really like their project because what they do is there's a group of people and a token. And their token has a 3% tax. So anytime you're in or out of that token, there's a 3% fee. But that 3% tax goes into a pool. Let's leave that there for right now. 3% of all the trades into a pool. This group of individuals, all they do is look for good projects. Because we all know that on the Solana blockchain, 98% of the tokens out there are all bullshit. You don't know who started them. You don't know anything about anything, just words on a screen. And usually they end up with a rug pull, right? These guys have big investors, big community, and what they do is they actively search for good projects. And CINO token has been nominated in this round of tokens. I spoke with Mark today. There's 14 nominations. And we're shooting to win this nomination and I joined the SOSANA network today. And listen, and when I say a network of people, thousands of people. Some are huge investors. He was telling me that he met an investor in Miami that, has $80,000 earmarked for a good project. So there's people like that out there, We're one of the only Solana projects that is putting real world utility behind a Solana token.
And the only aviation.
We're definitely the only aviation. And we are definitely the only project that has created a peer-to-peer marketplace for trading tokens amongst members where the trade doesn't affect the decentralized exchange. There's no slippage fees. And it's very tax-friendly. Mm-hmm. So you can trade tokens for US dollar token on our app for no impact on the DEX, for no slippage fees, and it's very tax friendly. So you can trade tokens for US dollar tokens or US dollar coins. Tax friendly. Very tax friendly. Meaning I'm not going to 1099 anybody.
Did you talk to SOSANA about this?
I did. Very interested. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So you know me, I don't like to put the cart before the horse. I had a great conversation today. I had another great conversation with another group yesterday. I'm very, very, very excited about our future. The app coming out very soon. Great meetings, great exposure. I have business talks set up for when I come back from Greece. You can fill your bag now or you can't. It's up to you. It's literally up to you. If you want to own this company, invest in this company. If you don't believe in it, get out. It's up to you.
Cooking.
Yeah.
So what is the nomination process like? Did they say anything about that?
So the nomination process works as that community members who are already members in this community will find projects that they feel are valuable.
So we're part of one of 14, right?
We are one of the 14 nominations.
How does that work? Do the people and the investors go through each project individually, or do we have to perform in any type of way?
Nope, we don't have to perform.
You just give them all the information.
I give them all the
What'd
information.
You send them
I literally just filled out an information sheet.
Who we
are. I didn't give them the YouTube, but I gave them our
TikTok,
our Twitter account. That's the only thing they asked for. Our Twitter account.
Oh, we're gonna have to edit the bio on that.
Yep. So yeah,
get
on that.
Does our X account show them the YouTube channel or anything?
I don't know. It's up to you. That's your job.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna.
Yes,
I feel like I need to do that.
Yes, you are gonna have to, because you know me.
I feel like I have to do it right now.
Well, as soon as we're done recording, you can do it.
And we're back.
We are back. So, what else you got on your mind? You want to talk about relationships again?
No.
Why not? You have no problem asking me questions. Why can't I ask you questions?
You could ask me questions if you want.
All right, that's fine. Whatever.
Let's talk about how to get rich.
How to get rich?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear
My
that?
first question, every time somebody says how to get rich, my first question is define rich.
All right. Let's say 1.2 million in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got some in assets, whatever. And a nice big house,
Okay.
family, good people around you. The ability to come and go and travel as you please. Not have to worry about.
So basically, that's my definition of rich, is not worrying about tomorrow. And that's how I live my life. I try not to worry about tomorrow and give myself all the resources I need to not worry about tomorrow. I live within my means, right? So I don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
So how to get rich? Where are you starting? Are you at the bottom?
Yeah, you're at the bottom. Nothing but a dream.
Then you need to focus on eliminating the majority of your bad debt. High interest, non-necessity debt, i.e. credit card debt. I mean, I don't want to say school loans, but a lot of school loans are bad debt because a lot of people go to college and trade schools and they wind up not working in their field. So they spend all this money that they owe back, and they're not earning a living using those skills. So you want to get rid of all the bad debt, right? You want to get rid of all your credit card debt, high interest loans, right? We talked about this in other videos. First. Get to a zero playing field, because when you have all that bad debt, you are below water. You are underground. You are digging a hole, and you're not going to be able to climb out of it at some point. So you got to stop the bleeding. And that part of getting rich is the fucking worst. That hurts the most. That stings. You hate life.
Because you're not enjoying anything, right?
You
At the
are
time,
you
you're
are making
sacrificing.
100% sacrifice just to get to the bottom rung. Because right now you're below. You're digging a hole below the ladder. Once we do that, focus on the smallest credit card you have, right? The smallest balance. And do everything you can to pay that one off, right? Every extra available resource to pay that credit card off. We do it. That's one step up. Now we focus all those original resources plus the ones that were going to that smallest credit card and go to the next one, right? And we fight and scratch and claw and we get to the next rung, right? We beat that one and we keep going until they're all gone. Only use your credit cards for what you're going to pay back before the grace period ends, right? Usually you have 30 days. So
Yeah.
if you spend X amount of dollars in a month, be prepared to pay off X amount of dollars, not X minus 100, X. X equals X, and that's it. The number is the number. You spend what you pay, no interest. Paying interest is bad. The game is rigged against you.
You also use credit cards that give you rewards too, right?
Well, that's my next step. If you're going to spend money and you have the discipline to spend and pay off what you spend every month, then use credit cards that offer you a reward. Either cash back, airline miles, nights at a hotel. I don't give a shit. Whatever floats your boat as a reward,
Yeah.
use that because you're spending the money anyway. You might as well get a reward for it. Right? So then we're done with credit cards, right? We're done with the debt on credit cards. Now we use them as a tool, right? It's not a crutch. It's not an albatross around your neck. We've paid off all that debt. We're out of it. We're spending what we can afford, right? We don't spend any more, any less, right? After that, now we build our slush fund, right? Our emergency fund. 3 to 12 months of all our necessary expenses. In the event you lose your job, you can live for 3 to 12 months without living on a credit card. Because if you have no income, you're not paying off that monthly expense, right, on credit cards. So build up that slush fund. 3 to 12 months of all your essential bills, right? What you need to live. Car payment, your mortgage, your grocery bill, all that stuff. You have to come up with a budget. You need 3 to 12 months of that. Now, once that's done, and trust me, getting from zero to here sucks.
I feel like everything you're talking about right now could take somebody like 5 years or more to do,
Well, it all depends on what sacrifices you're willing to make.
and where you're at too, right? Like
Yeah,
how below the bottom
How
you actually
below?
are,
Do you have a side hustle? Are you doing your 8 hours and going home,
or the bare minimum.
or are you doing the bare minimum? Like, that's all on you. Like, how fast do you want out is how hard you're willing to work. You know, I remember when I was eating 99-cent boxes of mac and cheese and I didn't have enough money to go through the toll booth. I got another job that Monday. This was on a weekend. That Monday, I found myself a part-time job. For the next 25 years, I've had 2 jobs.
Holy shit.
It's never going to happen again. Never. Never. It's never going to happen again. Now, I've had 2 jobs. I've raised kids. I think I've been a good father. I've been present. When I am home, I was present for my children. I don't know.
And you're still a dad.
I'm still a dad. I feel like I'm a good dad. So having 2 jobs, I was still able to do all those things.
And you still have time to do this, which is also kind of a job.
Yeah. it's a job, all right. It's a job, all right. You know, and relationships are a job. They take the most amount of time. You know, like that's the hardest job in the world to make that work. Because if you don't make it work, it's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you a lot emotionally, financially,
mentally,
your credit score. So let's get back on getting rich. So we're building a slush fund, right? Or an emergency fund. After we have no debt, we're using credit cards with rewards, right? And we're using that. I use credit cards I use them for everything. But if you're going to use yours for gas, right? You buy gas every week, pay that bill off. Every 30 days, pay that bill off and earn a reward for that. Then we build our 3 to 12 month slush fund. Now we're at the bottom rung. Now you did all that work and you just got to the bottom. So now I want you to get a side hustle. I want you to do something more than work 9 to 5. I want you to generate as much income as you can and pay yourself first. What I mean pay yourself first is you pay all your bills after you take 10% or more of your income and you invest it in yourself, right? You're having your emergency fund. Now, your emergency fund is not your savings account that you dip into when you have a birthday party or whatever. Your emergency fund is where I need to replace the air conditioner on my house. I'm going to use some money from that. But then we fill it back up right away, right? The emergency fund is your zero. When your emergency fund is full, that's your starting point. That's zero. If you use any of that money, your number one task is to put money back into that emergency fund to get back to zero. We don't live in the negatives. Do you understand? And that's a mindset. We pay ourselves. We invest in ourselves. The first 10% of that $500 a week or $1,000 a week or whatever you're making, that first 10% goes to you. S&P 500, Amazon stock, CINO token, Bitcoin. I don't care what it is. Invest in yourself first. The next payment is all your bills that week, right? Whatever you have due that week, pay those bills. Then the rest goes to savings account that you dabble in and disposable income. And if you don't have enough savings account or disposable income, then you're doing something wrong. You need to adjust your numbers to where it works. But 10%, a minimum 10% of your paycheck, the first thing you do goes to investing in you.
Always.
Always. Always. If you have any loans on your mortgage, if you have loans on your car, if you have, right, we got rid of our credit cards already, but those loans, necessities that you need, manage your interest like we talked about in the beginning. Take that savings and invest it. You don't want to work your whole life to get to the bottom. You know?
Yeah,
and
most people are.
And I'm telling you, I don't like your definition of rich. 1.2 in the bank, that'll come. If you put all those strategy in place, eventually you will get there. Eventually.
So what is being rich to you?
Not worrying about tomorrow.
What about tomorrow's tomorrow?
Not worrying about that either. If I don't worry about tomorrow, I'm not worried about next week.
So you're not worried
either.
till the time that you die, basically.
I'm not worried.
You're not more worried for your kids.
Nope.
So it's basically the removal of worry.
Yep. And that makes life a whole lot sweeter. That makes the sun shine brighter, the fucking air smell fresher, the birds sound sweeter.
Do you think it changes how other people interpret you too?
I don't know. I don't really care what other people think.
But all right, like without worry, I think people like to be around people that don't have worry, right? That don't add to their own worry.
I like to surround myself with people that I can push or push me up the ladder. Negative Nancy's, people who drag me down, people who constantly make bad decisions, out of my life. I don't need that. That's not what success means. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Definitely applies. If you hang around with fuckwits, you're going to fuck it up.
Do you think there's a difference between people that have been born into lots of money versus people that make their own money?
It all depends on how, I guess you want to say, the parents treat them.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett's son didn't know they were rich until he saw his dad on the Forbes 400 list
Really?
at 20 something years old.
Wow.
So
That's nuts.
it all depends. I used to spoil my kids like crazy. And what I learned after they hit their 20s is I did them zero favors in becoming a responsible, good part of this community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it's like telling an 18 or 17 or 15-year-old, no, you have to start doing things differently. Mm-hmm. You're a spoiled brat. I become the enemy. I'm an asshole. But I think they're better off now. You have to do it. You can't be their friend. You have to be their parent first, no matter what. You have to be a parent. You have to be consistent. You have to be a disciplinarian. You have to teach them right from wrong, regardless of how much it hurts.
What does that mean, being a parent versus a friend?
A parent wants what's best for his child, no matter what. A friend will get high with their kid. I will never do that. I used to drink in front of my kids, and it dawned on me. Every time I have a party, all the adults around us are drinking. So my kids are raised thinking it's normal to hang out with friends and get drunk. So am I teaching them and it's okay to hang out with friends and get drunk, and then I have to go identify their body after they get into a car wreck? I stopped doing that. You don't need to get drunk every time you hang out with friends.
Could you be both a parent and a friend?
As long as you're a parent first and they understand that.
Mm.
And I'm not even saying I did it right. I don't know. Just my opinion. It's the way I do it. You have to have boundaries. You have to maintain your integrity. You have to want what's best of them. You have to explain why you're saying no, what's going to happen. And if they continue to do things against your better judgment, that you're not going to be there to save them. You might save them one or two times, but everybody learns the hard way. So you have to let them learn the hard way. Hopefully it doesn't become too serious of an issue, that they change their life or ruin their life learning that lesson.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And as a parent, it fucking hurts watching them fail. It kills me, but you have to let them learn. You can't be a helicopter parent. You can't be hovering and protecting them or whatever, because then there's no consequences for their actions. They never learn responsibility. Mm-hmm. They never learn a good financial plan because mom and dad's always there bailing them out. Do you understand? If I overspend this month and I can't pay my rent, I'm just going to go ask my dad. He's going to solve the problem. When does it get fixed?
There's also that fear of you don't want to see them lose their confidence either.
Well, hopefully, remember, I also don't believe that failure is a failure.
Yeah, it's not.
But failure is a learning thing. Mm-hmm. So as long as you explain, you had the discussion. Well, you fucked this up, pal. This is why I think you fucked it up. These are the things that I think you did wrong. This is the things I think I would have done. What are you going to do in the future? Mm-hmm. You can't give them the answer. They have to have critical thinking. They have to understand there's consequences for their actions. You need to do all those things for them, but you need to do the things to help them learn for them. You have to give them examples. You have to give them guidance.
Yeah.
But you can't give them the answer all the time. Again, it's my opinion. I don't even know if I did it right. It's just what I do.
I'm resonating. It sounds right.
Listen, if you let your child live with you, right, for as long as they want, they don't have to pay rent or very little rent. There's always a home-cooked meal. Laundry gets done. Why would they leave? Now, that may be okay until I die. then what are they going to do?
Yeah.
They're 38 years old and don't know a thing about living on their own. Did I just help make them a valuable member of society? Or did I coddle an adult, from baby to baby?
Mm-hmm.
When did you make the adult?
Yeah. Like, did you enable them?
You enabled them to fail. Really fail.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion. Again, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just telling you how I think.
Well, there's no rule book,
There ain't. And personalities are different, and lots of different scenarios, and there's no one answer for everything.
Right.
I just know that you got to make them learn on their own. They got to learn. They got to learn the hard way. They got to go out and struggle and suffer. That's just the reality of it. In my experience, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I'm just starting.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Take some advice. I mean, how has my advice affected you in the last, I don't know, we've been together, 12 months now or so?
Yeah. Well, the podcast since August. So
August. So almost?
Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year. How has my advice, honestly, good or bad, you're not going to hurt my feelings. How has my advice, listening to me talk, how has it affected your life, good or bad? Go.
Good.
Tell them. Tell them.
Yeah, you already know.
No, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Tell them.
I'll tell you, but they could listen.
All right,
if they
go.
want. But
Tell me.
Yeah, I'm in the best financial standpoint I've ever been in.
How do you feel mentally about it, though?
I feel a lot more confident. Like my life is going to exponentially get better in the next couple months
Right.
because of it. I have no more debt. All my credit cards are paid off.
It's awesome.
Yeah, my savings account, I'm not going to say the number publicly, but
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty solid.
Okay.
It's solid,
Okay. Yep.
It's getting there. And now the bank's taking me more serious. I have
Okay.
a better relationship with my bank.
3 to 12 months? Were we there yet?
What, 3 to 12
3 to
months?
12 months of no job? Can we do that yet? Do we have an emergency fund?
I do. I have the emergency fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here
exactly.
we go. So now we're at what step?
We're at building on top of that. We're at the bottom.
We're at zero, right? We're paying ourselves first now.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk right after we hang up here. We're going to hang up. After we shut these cameras off, we're going to learn how to invest in the S&P 500.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So that's
'Cause
awesome.
That's the next step.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for just listening, dealing with my craziness.
Yep.
But they need to hear that.
Yeah.
I need people out there who have either taken my advice or followed similar advice. Comment.
Yeah.
Let everybody else know that this shit works.
Well, they message you directly.
Sometimes they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get comments and messages and I get thank yous and
I wish more people would hear the valuable gems in here.
yeah.
I think we should start some type of school, honestly, where
Yeah.
people could talk to you directly. I feel like they would want one-on-one mentorship.
Yeah. Let's we talked about it after Miami, right? Like we said we were going to do it after Miami. Let's put it together.
Okay.
Let's the next month or so let's look at it and let's put it together.
Okay.
Come up with a syllabus and
Okay.
there's going to be homework, I'll tell you that much, If you join the group, I'm going to have expectations of what I need to see from you, So opening up your own S corps, getting your shit together.
Yeah, the S Corp's important.
It is.
I know.
It is.
I got the LLC. I just have to make that transition.
Yeah, I don't like the LLC. S corp's the way to go.
Oh, man, we got to change my email.
Whatever.
For no LLC.
Whatever.
For no S Corp.
So thank you everybody for attending this week's podcast and video. Thanks for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. Anything that you need, any questions that you have, anything that you want to know, please reach out to me. If you know anybody who wants to be on the podcast, if you know anybody who needs to hear some advice, anybody out there who's got, some deep demons that are feeling pretty low, if you need somebody to talk to, please hit me up. I know we talked about that a couple times, but I've been through it. I've been through a lot. I understand. I always want to be there if somebody needs help, right? That's all. I'm always here to. I feel like I just want to help people, right? That's where I get my satisfaction from, is helping. So, if there's any way that I can help, other than all this, please reach out.
Yeah. And from my own personal experience, Ryan is not the typical YouTuber.
No.
You're just a very, conventional modern man, and you're the real deal. I feel like people would benefit by talking to you and, possibly joining some type of membership program where
Yeah.
they could talk to you directly.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we do a school and there's a membership program from that, I think we should just commit to saying right now that that's all going to go back into the CINO token. Right. I don't want to make a profit from educating others, but if we can put it into the, you'll be supporting the project through education. I'm all about that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm all about that. So,
Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned.
all right. Don't you want to do your fancy little spiel that you do at the end?
What?
I don't know. Welcome to.
Oh, you said welcome in the very
Whatever.
beginning.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Welcome back to... No.